So I'm out. Actually, I had to go somewhere, but I want to bring this story to attention. You can go to www.christliketruth also to view the actual video on this. So just a little history about my life. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. One of my parents told me a story about them getting shot because their siblings actually jumped a fence to get a ball that they wanted to retrieve. And during this retrieving of the ball, their children, and they're playing, and the ball goes over the fence, which happens a lot, right? So the neighbor, this is the story that I was told, the neighbor actually shot at them. And mind you, this is my parents. So if they would have missed the arm or any other part of the body that wasn't vital, then I wouldn't be here today, or my brother or my sister wouldn't have been born. So this story kind of touches home. So here's the story. There's a young 6-year-old little boy, brown skin, and they're playing outside. So when you go to www.christliketruth, you'll see the video of what happened as far as like them playing, and they don't show a bullet, the gun, or anything like that, him shooting them. They actually show the kids. It's like a group of kids just playing outside like kids do. Now me, I don't let my kids, I have a 6-year-old, I have an 8-year-old, and I have a 4-year-old. I don't let them play outside by themselves. When I was growing up, because the area we grew up in, sometimes we wasn't monitored. Sometimes we were, sometimes we weren't, depending on the neighborhood. So I guess the parents felt like their children were safe because it was a group of kids. They probably played a lot, which is common for most. I know some people now who let their children ride bikes. Me, because it's a different time, and even back then too, I could kind of understand where my parents were coming from, but it's a different time now, and you really have to monitor. It was very smart for them to have a camera. Had they not had a camera, there would have been proof, of course, because the little boy was shot, but there wouldn't have been visual proof, which you don't need proof, really. If a kid was shot and you got a bullet hole in your window, it's saying that you shot somebody. So this crazy fool done shot a little boy because he wanted to retrieve his bike. Now get this, when this fool went to, I'm just calling him a fool because he's a fool, that's his new name. This fool went to court, and this other fool, who is a judge, gives him a bail of $10,000. Do you know how much that is, really, truly? Because I know that's only 10% of what you really got to pay. So he only had to pay $1,000, right? $1,000 for killing our future, for almost killing. That was attempted murder. For almost killing our future, you gonna let him off? And then I saw the video from one of the sisters who posted it. They wished him, I don't say good luck, because to me, good luck is for a lot of players. God ordains things to happen, and people make choices. So this fool made the choice to shoot this little boy. Now, I know some Bible thumpers would say, and I'm a Bible thumper, I read the Bible, we minister. So some people say, well, God will take care of it. Yeah, he also gave us the authority to take care of it ourselves. He said, blessed are the peacemakers. Read my commentary at the part where I posted a video. I broke down a lot of stuff, how I feel about it. Peacemakers, sometimes you have to eliminate the fools in order for there to be peace. So he don't need to be in neighborhoods with kids if he's shooting at kids because he got a mental problem, or he's possessed by a demon, or the demon told him to do it. It was demonic. It was a demonic attack on that little boy's future, basically. That's basically what it was. And we have the right to defend ourselves. I could say a whole lot of what I would do if somebody was to try to attack my child. I could say a whole lot of what I would do. But the Lord wants us to protect ourselves. I mean, even when you read the Bible, I'm gonna bring this up real quick. I'm driving right now, but I'm gonna bring this up really quick. Let me see if I got it on here. I don't have it on here, but I'll put it on there later. So yeah. So even when we read the Bible in the Old Testament, God allowed his people to fight the armies or to fight the people that was coming against them in his name. So foolishness when you say you're not supposed to defend yourself, and God gave you strength for a reason, right? He gave you strength for a reason. He gave you a body. He gave us men to defend and take care of his family, right? Oh, here it is. I got it. I just want to put this out there. I want to do it first, but I'm driving, so I'm kind of all over the place. So, and I'll go back to that in about 10 seconds. So, I just want to park. I don't like the click and park. Hallelujah. But anyway, so yeah, so it's June whatever. I mean, I never celebrated. I never saw the point. I didn't even know about it till like a couple of years. I don't even know when it started, actually. But the history behind it. I'm in Texas right now, right? Don't know how long I'm gonna be here, but I'm in Texas, and doesn't have anything to do with Texas in general, but we as a people, okay, so God says that those who believe in him, he'll make them free, right? But us as a people, we're not free. Like, who told us we was free? Like, why are you listening to somebody else, the oppressor, telling us that we free? Like, really? He gonna tell us we free? Really? So tell me this. My husband, father name, who's Henry Ford Thompson, he saw his friend get hung from a tree after we were supposed to be out of slavery. So do you think that brother right there who got hung on a tree would say that we were free? Think about it. How they gonna tell us we free? They tell us when we were in slavery. They tell us when we were free. The people, the ancestors that were in slavery, they knew they were in bondage, so they knew they were in slavery. But now it's a mental slavery, and some brothers and sisters are locked up in prison, innocent. Do you think they're celebrating freedom? Like, seriously? Like, this is just like a false planet of freedom for brown people, for the Israelites. That's what we are. And some people, some brown people were already here before the so-called Christopher Columbus, so-called discover. How you gonna discover something that somebody already there? Like, why do they even have that as a day? So basically, my opinion on Juneteenth, like, what is that? Juneteenth, a month? Like, you gonna name our freedom after a month? That's one, paganism, which we can't. You know, we gotta have days of the week. But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense. It's not God ordained. We already know that it's not God ordained. If it was, then we'd really be free. And then, not saying that people don't need help now with the COVID and everything, but I'm trying to pull up, let this boy by. Let me turn in here. Alright, so not saying people don't need help with COVID. People died. It was a horrible thing that happened with I would say with preparation of things, like with Texas, how they weren't prepared for the storm, the winter storm. But Reno also isn't prepared. We was in Reno and they don't have ice truck, so it's not just Texas. And it's like living in another country. So I just ran into some. What is this? The world? Let me turn this camera around. They got something going on today, y'all. Oh, okay. Castle Hills. And when I travel, I don't like to tell people where I'm at, because we got weirdos out there. But what is this? I'm not shopping, but look like Castle Hills Elementary School is doing something today. Let me see. This dude right here. I don't know what he's doing. Where you stopping at, dude? Okay, he's trying to park. Alright, so yeah, they got something going on today. I'm gonna turn back around so y'all can see more. And then I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. Cause I was just out getting something done for the family. I gotta be back soon. I mean, I don't have a curfew, but I would like to be back in at least about 30 minutes. Alright, so this is what's going on here. I don't know if they're celebrating Juneteenth, trying to make money or what. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh well, you can't go the other way, so I gotta go the wrong way. Hallelujah. But there's no wrong way to get to heaven. Every way is the... Guy said hi. Hi. Yeah, so we had some experience out in Texas. We had some racial things happen. Like my husband... Let me turn this back around. So my husband, we were living in this one place, and this one guy who's supposed to be head of everything. I'm like, okay, so if you gonna say something racist to me, you just told me who you are, so I'm not gonna be your friend anymore. I say hi and bye just to keep the peace, but don't say nothing to me as far as like hi or conversation stuff. Like, no, I don't do fake. So my husband, we were in this one place, not the place we're at right now, but he was asked by one of the neighbor guys. He's supposed to like have all this money, he don't need to live there, this kind of story. You know how people try to brag. And he has my husband like kind of like, why, show me your free papers, basically. Because when white people, Caucasian people, red people, whatever you want to call them, not all of them are the same. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the ones. We fight not against flesh and blood, but we fight against spiritual wickedness in high places. So people are being led to do evil things to people in general because they're led by an evil spirit. So it's not a race thing. It's a spiritual thing. But they use race and prejudice. The devil uses that to get to the people he wants. If that makes sense to you. If it don't, send me a message and I'll break it down to you a little bit more. So my husband was asked for his free papers, and my husband's like, I live here. I mean, we just traveled from Vancouver, so for one, you don't know me. How about you introduce yourself and say, how are you doing? Hey, you new here? Oh yeah, we got this going on, this restaurant or something like that, instead of asking a grown man. And he had his little dog. He probably wished it was one of those hound dogs to bite him or something. I don't know. But my husband, stood his ground or whatever. And this guy is trying to be my friend, our friends and stuff. Like, every time I'm leaving, he's trying to say hi and stuff. Like, it's weird. Like, you just asked my husband, like, the whole time we were living there for a year, and we got out. We don't stay in places too long if we see craziness. I ain't trying to fight for the right to stay there. Forget that stuff. As far as now fighting for the right, I'm gonna clear that up. Fight for the right. You're supposed to fight for the right for, you stand your ground and stuff like that. But I don't feel like I have to deal with racism in certain places. Like, it was at my job or something. Yeah, I need to fight for it. Things like that, or the things I do, I need to fight for. But as far as like a condo or apartment, I can get another one. And the guy was the only one that was rude. It was a lot of people in there that was nice or whatever. But it was just we wanted to upgrade, so that was one of the main reasons too. But so he's trying to be friends with us. He got his little dog, and my little girl don't like dogs. She'll watch him on TV. She's 4 years old. She was like 3 at the time, and he was just trying to be overly nice. I'm like, ugh, you racist. Like, ugh, like, get away from me. Like, don't try to talk to me. Boy, I tell you. So I really wouldn't hold a conversation with him or whatever. It was another incident with my husband. He be having these incidents when I'm not with him, because I'm just I'll tell you some of my incidents too where I came into racism. And you know what? I'm coming from St. Louis, Missouri, right? And I didn't grow up like that. So when I come to like these different states and they're acting like this, I'm like, where y'all was raised jacked up? My mother never like was racist. My father never was racist. He guided me on what to do. If I was in some instances, some things he's explained to me. But I mean, I had diverse friends. Even when I went to college in Long Beach, diversity of friends. I mean, California is one of the best places to live if you want to have diverse friends. I had different groups of people, and I didn't base them on race. It was just cool people. So I'm not going to say I had an Asian friend, I had a black friend, I had a white friend. I'm not going to say that. People are people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't base it on a race. It bases on who they are and how they were raised. Because I know all Asians are not like that. I know that for a fact. The ones that I experienced, cool as a mug. But I mean, I used to get rides home. They used to come to my church, and so black people and white people too. So I'm not gonna do that race baiting crap where I'm gonna say, well, all Asians are the same. No, they're not. My mother worked for a Chinese restaurant. I was offered a job when I went to California to do massage therapy at an Asian spa. So, and I've had incidents with other races that was racist towards me. But it's the person. It's how you were raised and what you took up on culture and how your life was, because your mother and father raises you, right? Or your mother raised you, or your father, single parent households. But it's up to you to decide if you're going to let the outside influence you to become somebody else or something other than where your family raised. And some people were raised by their family and they were jacked up. They became racist. We know that by slavery. Yeah, so okay, so the other incidents, back to my husband. He had the 3 kids because I was recording something. I was recording a song and I needed the studio to be silent because the kids, them 3 little kids, they just were babies. I don't like to say kids because kids are ghosts, so I'm going to say children. So the children, that's cool. I came in a big circle. Look at God. He know I ain't paying attention to the directions. All right, so my husband went to H-E-B. It's a store in Texas. Because Texas don't have, Schnucks. Like in St. Louis, they don't have, Safeway. They have Aldi's, but it's an hour or something away, 90-something miles away. So you're not going to see it in the part of Texas I'm in. Which they say I just found out the retirement state. Because it's kind of chill here, and I like that. I'm tired of drama. It's just too much drama. Like in Reno, I'm going to just throw this out there. Reno 911. There's some cops out there just like Reno 911. One cop stopped me on the day that we found out that Sandra got killed by a cop. He stopped me because, one of the reasons why he stopped me, my husband was going to fix my light when I got for work. Because my light was out. And my blinker, when you blink, you turn on your blinkers and a blinking light or whatever. But he don't know that I didn't turn on my blinker light. He just assuming. But anyway, so he stopped me because this is why he said he stopped me. Because he didn't know if my license plate at the time, it was said Missouri had just came out there, was a 0 or a O. And I wanted to say a whole bunch of stuff. But then this cop behind me, his partner, got this gun, looking in my rearview mirror, holding this gun. And I'm like, seriously, y'all some fools. Not all the cops, but y'all some fools. My husband actually worked undercover with, my husband, father actually worked undercover. He was an aircraft mechanic too, but he worked undercover with the cops. So all cops are not the same. All people are not the same. So I don't never want to put anybody in one category, because that's I say it's kind of ignorant in a sense, because you're not doing all your research. You don't know everybody. Just like they do these statistics. You don't know everybody. You can't say 1,000 people live here, because some, or 100,000 people living in one place, because some people that's living illegally, or some people that's living just shacking up with other people. So you really don't know. So that's why you need the Holy Ghost. When you receive the Holy Ghost, you speak in another tongue. God will give you that. Because we have 5 senses, right? Physical senses. But it's also a spiritual sense. Some may call it like a third eye or whatever. But it's a spiritual sense. And some may call it common sense. But it's a spiritual sense that God gave us so that we can see the things that we cannot see physically, if that makes sense. All right, so back to my husband. I keep saying back to my husband, but we got a lot of stories. So I'm going to try to make this short. It's 20 minutes in. All right, so hold on one second. And put this up. Like I said, I'm driving, so I'm like all over the place. All right, so I'm going to keep that one up. All right, so turn it. I like talking and driving. It's kind of chill. It's kind of hot here right now. I'm turning the air a little bit. It's like, what, 92 degrees in Texas, where I'm at? All right, so my husband went to the grocery store with our 3 kids because I needed some studio time in my studio to record this song. And I needed like 30 minutes to an hour or something. So he went to get him some ice cream and some other stuff. So while he's there, Karen asked him if she could help him. He said, no, I got a wife. I don't need your help. In a nice way, because my husband comes off nice at first. Until you cross him, he'll tell you where to go in a godly manner. But he was like, no, I'm good, thank you. And I guess my son had licked a cord or something, and she called herself, wanted to butt in. So this Caucasian guy, that's why I say all people are not the same. So stop judging races by race, by a group of people. Everybody's different. Some people belong under the jail. Some people don't. Some people are treated fairly. Some people are not. In all races. Some people are good. Some people are evil. When God comes back, he's not going to say, were you black or were you white? He got a people, which are Israelites. He got a people. We must be judged first. He's going to judge us harder than the others. That's why we were in bondage. And that's why some of us are still in bondage. Spiritually, physically, financially, and things like that. There's curses on our life because, not my life, but on people's lives in general. And it's curses on other people's lives in general because of the sin is a curse. I mean, if you're living wrong, you're going to die in sin if you keep living wrong. So those are prayers on our website, www.christlikeTruth. And you can actually look up some of those prayers that I post about this brother who wrote this book. But, okay, so back to the story, my husband and Karen, I'm just calling her Karen because everybody else is doing it Karen. I'm not going to do Becky because I have a close friend named Becky, and she ain't nothing like that. So I don't like the term Becky. So Karen, she basically harasses my husband, talking she's gonna call 911 and all this. So the man was like, and my husband's like, well, these other men got kids and you're not saying that to them. And the one Caucasian guy, he was like, yeah, you're not saying that to him. So she's like, I'm gonna call the cops because for no reason. I don't even remember the reason. I think it was because she was rejected because you wouldn't let her take care of your kids, or maybe she wanted to date you. I don't know. She was rejected. So my husband's like, you know what? I'm just leave everything. I'm gonna go because I ain't got time to deal with this. Well, she did the right thing because you don't know what kind of cop you was gonna get. So he leaves. She has his camera. Nothing ever happened. This is where we're at now in Texas. Nothing ever happened. But he just left. He did the right thing because she was trying to provoke him. I guess she didn't eat her Wheaties that morning. I don't know. But I ain't got time for racism because you come to me wrong, I'm gonna have to show you where God is in my life. I'm going to prophesy on your life right then and there. Going back to my story when we was in Reno, I got so many stories. I'm trying not to tell y'all all of them because it's going to take too long. So I was in Woodland in Vancouver actually on this story, and we were celebrating like Mother's Day or something, and I had a bunch of balloons. I was going to do something new like I do with my brother because he got shot when he was 20. Like I do a balloon thing, but we were going to do balloons and like let them go with the kids. with the children. So okay, so we were in Woodland. We had just moved there, and this is Woodland, Vancouver, and we didn't know it was. We did our research and everything about the neighborhoods and stuff like this, but we didn't expect another Karen to show up. This is before Karen was famous, and I've met a black Karen. All Karens are not the same. Everybody named Karen is not a Karen, so don't judge somebody by their name. But I'm just use Karen because y'all know what I'm talking about. So she comes up to us and say, "Are you guys from Oregon?" Okay, no, Oregon, Drug City is a lot of drug. Not everybody's on drugs in Oregon, but from my experience, is a lot of drugs out there. So she gonna say we travel 45 minutes to get to Woodland, which is a nice neighborhood, to go to a park, which basically when we went there was all white people, all Caucasian people, which I don't care. I've been growing up where I'm the only brown girl, and it's a whole bunch of Caucasian people, and we working together. They invite me to the party. I'm the only brown. It was like Dawson Creek. You know what I'm saying? So, but I never looked at color like that. You know what I'm saying? So I know that everybody is not the same. But anyway, so my husband's like, you mean to tell me we gonna travel all the way from Oregon, which you think that we poor because we black? That's basically what you're saying. We don't belong out here, but we live right up the street. So that was one incident. She left. And then it was one incident when I was, what was the other incident with me? One of the many. Okay, so we were in Woodland. Okay, I think this was Woodland. This was also Woodland. And my son, okay, so I had this dream. The Lord showed me that make sure I protect my son because there's people out there who want to cripple him, right? So I had this dream. And because I had this dream, I took heed to it. So I'm parking, right? So you know how you park at a grocery store, and it's 1,000 parking spots, but somebody want to park next to you? I don't have a problem with that. But I have a problem when you try to hit my son in your car. So I'm driving, I park. Me and Jesse gets out. This Caucasian, probably about in his early 60s, late 50s. He see my son, but he keeps driving. So I had to pull my son out the way. So I say, push on this car. I said, you ain't see my son? I was finna get saved hood up in here. Don't play with my babies. Took a long time to make them and bake them. And you ain't gonna let no food take them. All right, so he was like, oh, I didn't see him. Yes, you did. You was finna keep running over his feet. And the dream I had was his legs and foot was messed up, and he had crows was in the dream, like death, a death spirit. But the Lord showed me, make sure you watching out. So he goes into the store, and I take pictures of his car, and I go home, I call the cops and let them know what's happened. So the cop was like, he was gonna go up there and talk to him, because I had gave him the license plate and everything. So he went ahead and talked. He was adamant about making sure that he does. I said, because I don't know if he's doing this to other people. If you on the road and you got issues, you don't need to be driving. You don't need to be driving, because you run over my kid, I'm gonna run over you. I'm not gonna. It's defense, because I'm defending my kids, so I have the right to defend. Blessed are the peacemakers. So God wants us to be peaceful. So in order for us to be peaceful, we have to eliminate some of the people that aren't peaceful. Whether you put them in jail, whether you have to do it in self-defense. You don't want to, oh, God is real. Shoot me. I'm going to turn the other cheek. That's not what God was talking about. Look at these clouds, you guys. These are beautiful. I'm going to turn this camera around. I can say about Texas, they got some beautiful greens and beautiful skies. And they got the best steak ever. Oh my goodness. I know others will agree. Now my Juneteenth rant has nothing to do with Texas in general. I just want to tell you how I felt about it. I don't celebrate it. I will never celebrate it. For one, the name of it is confusing. what does it even mean, Juneteenth? Like, the letter was sent in June, yeah, but what does it even mean? Like, why you need other people to tell you free? I was free. I was free. Oh, master ain't put me in slavery no more. I get to kick the big pig. I get the large pot of chitlins. Ain't God good? He give us the pork that he told us not to eat. And I'm out, y'all. Love you guys. And just read the truth. Stop believing these pulpit pimps that they call pastors. Not all of them are bad. But if they want it all, like, I don't even collect money. I don't want y'all money. I just want y'all to have the truth, because heaven, as always, it's just a vapor, a smoke. God bless you guys.